Hey guys, it's Honesty from Home Kit-Tears, and I am going to show you today how to make your very own banner for your next event. Today's example is going to be based on baseball, but it's very simple for you to customize and personalize your banner to what you're planning. Right, using the hot off the press Build-A-Banner template, which has all the multiple sizes of the pennant shape that we're going to need to build this banner. Piece of cardstock. I'm going to line it up along the edge of my paper to try to utilize as much of the paper as possible with the least amount of waste. I have it lined up, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace this outside edge. The one thing that I recommend when you're using a template is to always use this outside edge. Nothing is more frustrating than to go in and to cut your piece and find that through half of your template you trace the outside edge, and then on the other half you trace the inside edge. And while it's about 1/8 of an inch difference, it does make a difference in the final piece. All right, because I know I'm going to need various sizes to get the completed banner look, I'm going to go ahead and line up the next size that I'm going to need with the piece that I have outlined. Again, trying to utilize as much of the paper with the least amount of waste and the least amount of cuts possible. This isn't always the easiest part. And there we go. I've got it lined up with that outside edge. So now I'm getting a good chunk of paper used with the least amount of waste. I'll show you what I mean. I have 2 pennants there, and I can actually fit a 3rd size there. So let's go ahead and grab that small size as well. Again, utilizing as much of the paper with the least amount of cuts as possible. And here we go. Again, making sure that you're following that outside edge on the banner. Here we go. We have 3 pennants and 1 corner. So now we're going to go ahead and cut. And if you are anything like me, I did not inherit the gene to cut a straight line. So without using a template or a Cricut or a Silhouette, then nothing I cut ever lines up the way that it should. And large pennant, cut. Next, and this project is so quick and easy. I mean, if you are planning a last-minute party, talk about being able to wow your guests in such a short period of time. You can literally, the night before, whip up a few decorations. This is perfect for a classroom party too. So if you're a room mom, think about doing this at the Halloween party, Christmas parties, New Year's celebrations at home, graduation. Perfect for you to do personalized, customized graduation pieces for relatively cheap. A packet of this Creative Collection cardstock paper from Walmart is, I think, $5. Now, you can go to the local Hobby Lobby and get specific colors for your project, especially if you want to do something wintry. You know, blue and whites I think would look beautiful if you made a banner and did little snowflakes on it. Anyways, use your imagination, let it run. Okay, so we have cut out our 3 sizes. Of something else I'd like you to take note. There are edges that have the pencil marks on them. Now, what's really nice about this project is you can ignore having to erase those. Just flip them over and use the other side so nobody sees your lines. If for any reason you do need to use the side that has the eraser marks on it, simply take your eraser and erase. and your marks are gone. So, okay, now that we've got this all cut out, I'm going to show you one other thing that's great about this template. Inside the scallop circle is a perfect circle. If you're anything like me, I can't cut a circle as well as a straight line to save my life. Simply the easiest circle I've ever cut. You just line that up on your white cardstock, cut it out, you're done. Okay, now that we have all of our pieces cut, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put them together so you can see how to make your own banner. Because I am using 3 primary colors, I want to coordinate this. So we're going to go with our large pieces down first. And because I want to add a little dimension to my banner, I'm going to do a couple of these that have the 3-layer or the 2 layers. So I'm going to go ahead with the blue and the yellow, and I'm going to go ahead and put this one as a 3rd layer, and then I'm going to go with a yellow on this one, and we'll go with, oops, sorry, a blue. Now on this one, on my yellow and blue, I want to put a baseball. Here's the little trick. We're going to take one of our white round circles, and we're going to take a second one, a pencil, and I'm going to set it, if you can zoom in, I'm going to set it so it just overlaps just a bit, and I'm going to do a half circle there, and I'm going to come over here and do a half circle there to get an idea of the circle. Now, baseball stitching is red. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go over this with a red marker. And yes, I am using Crayola washable markers. Why? Because I have toddlers. So we're gonna go over this second one. And yes, you can see this line, but because we're using the washable markers, we can erase that line. I'm gonna show you how. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just add my stitching. And I'm not doing it perfectly even, but just enough to give that clip art feel to my baseball. Now with my eraser, I'm gonna, just to make sure it's dry, and I'm gonna go in and I am going to erase my pencil line. Pencil line 1 is gone. And if you don't draw your pencil line quite as hard as I do mine, it doesn't take as much of a vigorous erasing. Okay. And as you can see, we have a baseball. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. And now we're going to talk about adhesives. There are a multitude of choices. Some people prefer to use glue, glue sticks, Aleene's, or double-sided tape. I'm a double-sided tape girl. I love my double-sided tape. But if you are a glue girl, the thing I need to warn you about is you only need to use a little tiny drop. Because if you use too much of the glue, you're going to get that puckering of your paper, and it's going to dry like that. And that's not going to give you the dimensional look that you like. It's going to have that kind of, oops, I spilled water on it look, and that's not what you want. So we're going to go ahead and start putting our pieces together. Simply 1, close to the edge, and 2. And we're just going to go ahead and attach on baseball right in the middle. That one's done. Now on these pieces right here, if you have a team name or you want to put, you know, the bride's name if you're doing this for a bachelorette party, or the birthday child's name, retirement party, whatever you want it to say, You can very easily print out the letters on your computer and cut them out. Or if you do have a Cricut or a Silhouette, using one of your font cartridges, you can easily print out, or cut out, I should say, exactly what you want it to say in the style that you would like. But for this example, we're not going to have any words. Rather, we're just going to do a little. I'm going to go ahead and tape my blue in while I've got it laid out. For this example, we're not going to put any letters on it. We're just going to go ahead and use it as not the main focus piece, but rather something that can be put with the centerpiece, perhaps. Okay, so there we go. We have got 3 pieces ready. We have 3 pieces ready for this banner. And the easiest way to do this on a piece of string, in my opinion, is to tape it. And I recommend good old packing tape. It's got the width and the strength that you're going to need to hold this in place. I have a couple of pieces ready to go. So I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to line this up exactly how I want it to fall on my string. I'm going to take my string. I'm going to set it right how I want it to fall. I want it just a little bit higher. And I'm going to tape it. Now, when taping it, I like to make sure I get that good crease around the tape to make sure that that tape is really solidly on there. And we're going to do it to the blue piece. Now, if you want to run a piece of tape through the whole edge of the back, I would recommend it and I would suggest it, but you don't have to. If you do, it does help to give it a better polished look with the way that it hangs. The one area that I highly recommend that you add a final piece of tape to, if I can get it to come off, is the very edges, because this little edge right here, that's the edge that you're going to be hanging. And you don't want the banner to pull away from the string. So any overlapping pieces of tape, very simply, cut. And you have made yourself a little banner. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial.